There it is. Always do that. Always do that. Busy saying I pressed that then as well. Hello. Yes, a bit early on this one. About 5 minutes early. It don't matter. I'm going to do a bit of flying to start this one off. But I am obviously going to go to the airport that we're going to first have a look at. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Bit more set up with everything now, I must admit. I feel a bit more organised. I like what we've got going on here. That's great. I still need more models. I've got no room for them, but we need more models. We could obviously get some models. We could move the boxes out the way because they don't need to be there. But yeah, so I need some new models, but then I also need some money for that. So what are we doing today? Well, as you can see from the title, it's very, very obvious what we're doing today. What I love to do, go and explore some airports, going to different places around the world and having a look at different locations, different scenery, different airports. So you'll know on the channel I like to go around payware, freeware, airports. I'd either sort of review some paywares, make videos on them, and that's kind of my biggest sort of draw on the channel is the airport side of things. Not so much the aircraft, but the airport side of things. I've been doing a bit more flying recently, so I want to get into that and maybe do some actual group flights and online flights and stuff like that. But this live stream, this actually stems from a video I've been doing recently, actually, and I was just randomly clicking on default airports and having a look at some of the handcrafted ones. Now, obviously, these are, these are free. These are technically what you get as part of the simulator, but most are ones that have been added over time. I've also got the let's see if we can. Sorry, I've got the sound from the simulator as well. So yeah, these obviously are part of the sim, but you're not gonna know about them unless you've got the particular world update installed. So these are ones that people might know about, but they're also ones that people may have forgot about, because with them being part of a world update, if you don't install that world update from the start or have it activated, then it is very easy to just not see them. And for me, that is very easily done, because every time a world update comes out, unless you really, really want to fly in that part of the world, you're not going to download it or install it. Or in the case of 2024, we activate the packages now. We don't need to install them. We can do from, I think it was a couple of sim updates ago, you can actually install things now. But yeah, funnily enough, we're actually starting out at an airport where that's not in my list. I've actually made quite a few lists on this one. So if we can get through them, we'll be looking at 6 today, maybe 5 or 6. One of them's not on the list, but I've Flight Sim today on Instagram did say to try 1, so I might try and fit that in. And then all my other lists I'm going to actually try and make into a video, because I think they might suit a video a bit more. So we're going to try that. Let's get the stream going. Have we actually got a pitch? No, we've got no picture. That's because I was streaming Tower Simulator last time, wasn't I? So you'll notice that I've capped my frame rate just because it helps my main thread, apparently. Everything's in the green, which is great. The actual frame rate isn't, though. So I'm going to turn that off. But apparently it's helping. So this one, I believe this is Gretchen. And we'll be taking the Baron, of course, down to Bern Belp. Now, I'll be as quick as I can doing this, because obviously I do want to show all of these airports that I've got listed. I will list them when after the stream, when the stream is available as a video. I will list them in the description along with timestamps, hopefully. I'll hopefully do that. And but I don't want to obviously list them in the description now, just to keep things nice and secretive. Right. Okay, so this one's Gretchen. This is also a handcrafted default airport, so we'll have a little look. We won't spend a lot of time here, but we'll have a little look at Gretchen. I've actually got my Tobii eye tracker plugged in on this one today. I've been doing a lot of flying with the Tobii eye tracker, so that's why that's why it's all thingy. I am going to turn it off while we have a look at this, though, and we'll just turn it on for flying. And before we turn this on, let's go and have a little look at... No, you're not going to work, are you? You pain in the ass. Okay. Let's have a little look at Gretchen. So, as I say, if these airports that we're gonna look at today, these aren't listed in your simulator for whatever reason, then go and install a world update for them. Fortunately, I couldn't tell you what update they're for. This one is, I think these two are in Switzerland, I believe. So, yeah, I started making a video, or I've been making a video, a trailer that will be coming out soon on the channel, and I started just handpicking some of these airports to do some of the, taxi landing and taking off shots for this particular aircraft, and came across quite a few, and then unfortunately my curiosity took a hit, and I wanted to go and have a look for more. So I started looking for the stars on the map, and I started looking on the internet for lists of all the handcrafted airports, and I came up with a big list. Now, having a look at this right now, these sorts of textures here, they're not amazing, but it's not the point for me on this one. It's the fact that we've got these fully detailed default airports without sort of spending any money. Now, that's not to say there isn't payware alternatives to these airports. There is. In fact, when you click on these airports in the world map, if it's available in the marketplace, it'll tell you however many there are available for them. This might not actually be a handcrafted one. Actually, I could completely. Yeah, I think this is one I've installed potentially. Because the reason why I'm saying that, folks, is because those people. Because the handcrafted airports are done by Gaia Simulations, and I don't think these are the people that are used. And to be very, very honest, the textures, even though the handcrafted airports aren't brand new and kind of up to the standard we're used to seeing now, I've got a feeling that this is one I've installed, and it's a freeware that you can get, which is very, very odd because I don't remember installing them. Although these things are floating, which does give me a bit of a sign that it might be a handcrafted one, because I've noticed that in some handcrafted sceneries, there is a lot of floating, and you know what? There's a lot of floating things in this. Look at that. We've even got... That one's not quite on the floor. Interesting. That is interesting because I'm a bit confused now, because this has got a star, but I can't remember if this one's installed. I don't think it is. Let me have a little look. I need to have a look because I'm confused now. I'm confused because those people don't look like the typical. I don't think I'll have a look through there. Let's have a little look. So this was part. So Switzerland was part of World Update. I can't. I can't read Roman numerals, man. It's part of the Germany, Austria World Update. Let's have a little look. Don't want to be wasting a lot of time really on this one, guys, because honestly, this one doesn't look like a World Update one. Let's have a little look. I actually can't find an actual list of the the list of airports. It just tells me a few. Yeah, is that a release notes? There's release notes because they usually do release a whole thing to tell you which airports have been added. Or maybe they have. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Germany, Austria. No, funnily enough, this isn't, and I don't know where I've installed this. I'm confused. That's I've just googled it. It says it's not a handcrafted. Google could be wrong though. What's the Roman numerals say? I'm terrible for it. And that's the way they usually show it, isn't it? XV111. I can easily just thingy, can't I? I can easily. Is it 18? World Update 18. Anyway, I apologise for the bit of a lapse in concentration here, guys. I am just really curious now because and a bit confused, a tiny bit confused. So this must means I have this installed in here. Have I got this installed since when? If anyone wants to do a bit of research, yeah, 18. And let me know because I've had a recent clear out of my community folder, so I'm a bit confused. Unless this is part of some kind of multi-pack or something, multi-airport freeware. But the assets used here really do look like, now, the World Update airports, the handcrafted Gaia ones, admittedly the textures are a lot better than that. Anyway, guys, let's forget that for now because we need to get over to the first airport. And I did try and start this early for this flight. So, why have you started? Do you know what? If there's too many... Is it going to work, though? Right, okay, guys. Let's get over to our actual definitely. Well, do you know what? I'm confused now because some of these might not actually be World Update airports now. Me community folder really should only have a couple of freeware in there, and this is not one I remember. So yeah, anyway, confusing, doesn't matter. Let's get on with it. We're in the Baron and the Beechcraft Baron by Black Square, the Baron Pro, which I absolutely love, and I am going to get the Bonanza soon because it looks amazing too. Let's get the battery on. Let's just quickly get this done because we need to get over to the first airport. What do we have? Get the beacon light on. Let's also get the Tobii eye tracker on, which seems to be absolutely messed up at the minute. What do you do? What? Why? Oh, is it because? There we go. Let's. That was quick, wasn't it? The throttle was a bit up too high there. If you guys aren't really into the Tobii eye tracker being on, let me know. I've just been getting used to using it recently, and it does make a world of difference, if I'm going to be totally honest. So I have got some rudder pedals now. I've got the full setup. Can we get the? There we go. I'm not using the tablet today because I just can't be bothered doing that. We are heading over to Lima Sierra Zulu Bravo, which is Bern Belp, which is not far. I don't think it is anyway. It doesn't look far. Right, okay, right. Gear needs to be down because it's been up, and let's get going. Yeah, let me know if the eye tracker's a bit too much, because sometimes it can be, I guess, if you're watching it. It can be just as almost as thingy as VR. So yeah, Bern Belp, this is definitely a handcrafted airport, so we will get going. Let's. Still getting used to the rudder paddles because it's the first time I've ever used them, but it's fantastic having them. Absolutely love it. Not familiar with this airport. Still don't know where it's come from. Haven't got a clue. Perfect. This will take us right on to the runway we need. So I do like the scenery though. It's lovely. It's just everything's floating, so lovely area to fly in as well. Please do, if you're rewatching this stream, please do, let's go notch your flaps down, please leave a like and even share it and stuff like that, because I know there's going to be people interested in some default airports to use, and I'm not always aware of them, because like I said before, not everyone does, through the windscreen, not everyone does always install or activate the world updates. In the taxi home, won't be able to hear you, but pop in and say hi. Cheers, Alex, mate. Ivan, good to see you, mate. Don't know if this is a big enough runway. I mean, the Baron does get up pretty fast, like. There we go, we're already lifting off. Gear up. We're just going to make the turn to the right because it isn't far over to the right, down to the south. Also as well, I've noticed, which isn't a surprise, my scenery looks 10 times better because basically when we were living in our old set of flats, I used to always run my computer off Ethernet, but I used to use Ethernet ports. I used to actually use the electric plugs to run the internet through them. They're not anything new, Ethernet plugs. They're a way of running when your router's too far to obviously run wires, Ethernet wires to your computer. You can use plugs and basically plug one end to a plug socket downstairs, electric socket, and then Ethernet from the router to that plug, and then up here the same thing. Obviously plug it into your mains, plug the Ethernet port in, and yeah, I've been running the internet off that. Now I did a speed test. Now we should basically up to 900 megs. Now that's fantastic. I was only ever doing speed tests and getting around 90 megs, which is dreadful. So I remember doing a speed test on my phone recently in the house, and it said the speed test on my phone on the house Wi-Fi said 450 megs, and I was like, what the hell? So I disconnected my Ethernet cable up on the computer here, and wouldn't you know it, running off Wi-Fi, my computer with the little booster antenna that my motherboard got, 550 megabytes. So yeah, I was for the longest time, guys, running just on 90 megabytes, and now I'm running off 500 and something. So yeah. Yeah, I noticed the handcrafted airports are better 2020 with more ground markings. Yeah, so this is why I wanted to do this kind of live stream, because the amount of handcrafted airports that once you start getting into kind of the rabbit hole with them, you start looking at the different ones around the world, and I honestly spent a good, it was maybe 3 or 4 hours on the simulator one night last week, and I made this list, and I just was jumping into them, getting the drone camera out and having a look. And as you'll see in this live stream, guys, it's not just the detail that the airport's got, it's actually the detail that the surroundings has got as well. It was quite surprising with some of these airports, if not most of them, that the surrounding areas were also really detailed. And honestly, I say this quite a lot on videos and live streams, but some of them do compare to payware. Now we can't forget that Gaia Simulations, obviously they are coming back and doing their own stuff with Corfu and some others, and some other updates to existing airports. But we can't forget that they used to do obviously handcrafted airports before as their own products, and obviously started doing the World Update airports for Microsoft. So it isn't surprising that the airports are detailed, but like I said, I've been discovering these ones, and there's so much more that is going on with them. Maybe I shouldn't have done this fight. I can only dream of speeds like that. I'm only on 70, but 70 is still fast enough though, mate. That's the thing. Oddly enough, even with 500 odd megs, I'm still only getting 90 upload speed, maybe a bit less. I say only, it's good enough, but obviously with this simulator, the way it streams everything, and I haven't downloaded anything, I haven't really got the hard drive space to do that. Let me just have a little look, guys, because I actually thought this was a shorter flight than it looked. It is. I'm just on a completely different course. Why is the... okay. I'm completely off here. I'm completely off. I'm looking at things completely the wrong way. I'm looking at things where I actually departed from. And that's why I don't VFR. But if you have a look there, look at that. Fantastic. Yeah, I've been using I've had the Tobii eye tracker for a while, and I haven't used it. I've started using it recently. I need to dial in the settings a bit more because they're still not amazing. But yeah, it's useful, especially with me doing a lot more flying now and getting into the habit of doing cold and dark starts and setting up the aircraft from the stand as well. But yeah, I wanted to do the, as I say, the idea for this live stream is to potentially do more, but also create some videos, because I know people are interested to see either sometimes what they're missing because they haven't activated the world update for the particular area, or they just haven't been to the airport because they didn't really need to, which is absolutely fine. You know, it's the whole world, isn't it? So right now I can't see. I think that's it there. In fact, I'm pretty certain it is, yeah. You'll also notice right now, you might have, but I've actually uninstalled FS Realistic Plus and Chase Plane. If you remember, I was actually talking about the simulator freezing and not crashing, but basically I was flying a particular aircraft recently that I can't mention, but I was recording and then all of a sudden I went for a little flight in the Bern and the whole sim froze. It froze while I was loading in after pressing ready to fly, and then it wouldn't recover, as in the frame rates were absolutely goddamn awful. And even after a restart, even after shutting down the PC and doing a full shutdown and starting again, it was still terrible. I then emptied my community folder, which at the time was 960 gigs. Yeah, that you heard that right, I did say 900. And it was okay. It was absolutely fine. Oh, I tell you what, guys. Don't know what's happened here, but it looks like, I was gonna say it looked a bit off. My reshade isn't working. In fact, my keyboard isn't working. That's probably why. I don't know why. It's also making a load of X's on me screen. Why are you doing that? Don't do that. Stop. Sorry, guys. I've also completely messed this approach up now, so... yeah, so the sim was freezing, and I took everything out of the community folder and it started working again, which was fantastic. Then I started slowly putting things back in. Fine, couldn't find the culprit, thinking it was a particular thing. I then... Sorry guys, I'm getting really confused. Not confused, just distracted. I then started doing things as normal, and I got the freeze again, and I couldn't I was confused to what it was, because at the time there was only a particular set of items in the community folder. This is a very steep approach, I apologize folks. Yeah, there was only a number of things in my community folder. So again, I cleared it out. I then started deleting unwanted things because there was a lot I didn't need in there. And again, obviously things started working, and I haven't had it since. but I've only not had it since Chase Plane and FS Realistic Pro hasn't been in there. So yeah, I'm a bit pissed off because I really like using those, but it seems like there's something in one of those programs that is just affecting things. This is a very steep approach. And I'm going too fast still as well. Yeah, I'm going around. But you'll get a look at Bern Belp as we go up. And there's a reason why I want to show you this one, folks, because it is so well done. It is so well done. Unlike that approach. I don't know what happened to my... What is going on with my keyboard? It's not working? It is. That's light. It is. There we go. Thank God. Right. The photogrammetry in Bern is nice, but in there was FPS issues when the airport is fine. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's fantastic, the photogrammetry here. As you can see, when we talk about photogrammetry, guys, as well, it doesn't just, you know, it doesn't just mean cities and skyscrapers, you know, and big urban areas. It's the countryside like this, as you can see. Look at how, unfortunately, with photogrammetry areas in more rural areas, you're gonna have the, you know, the dreaded photogrammetry trees with the actual, you know, the procedural trees, you know, the nice trees, the nice 2024 trees that were included. But yeah, if you look, have a little look. The quality is great, and obviously I'm noticing also the quality is even better now with that faster internet speeds. But yeah, the fields and everything look fantastic. They really do. I'm going to try this again and come in. We'll have a little look around. We won't be doing a flight every time we go to a new airport, guys. This was just purely to have a little bit of flying before the stream starts, but we've wasted a hell of a lot of time, haven't we? Oh well, you just have to watch it even more. So yeah, let's have a little look. Where are we? I do like using the Tobii eye tracker. I just didn't utilize it enough. But I am going to turn it off now because honestly, it's probably not the nicest thing to watch. Especially if I'm moving my head a bit more on screen and moving away from the sides. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, let's... Where are we? Now I can't really turn my head to have a look now. Bit too high, aren't we? Oh my god. I apologize, folks. I apologize. I will be jumping over to the next airport without messing about. But let's have a little look though. I'd imagine that is Bern or Belp down below here. Still a bit melty. But we are zoomed in. Perfectly fine when you're kind of looking out the window at them, for sure. I'm going to have to do a really, really tight turn, aren't I? mix it in with a bit of a descent as well. Having a look at the actual churches down there below us with the river running through. The bridges look fantastic as well, just over to the right of the nose there. Hopefully we're nicely lined up, or at least thereabouts. Near enough, near enough. And then obviously you're going to be getting that view off into the background there of what I can imagine is the Swiss Alps. Technically it's saying I'm too low. So I think for this airport you are on a quite a steep approach anyway. But guys, as we go into this, when we go to our next airport, which is over in America, maybe we'll mix it up. Maybe we'll stay over in Europe before we go to America. Maybe make our last stop over there. We will, yeah, I think that maybe the last one we'll go to America instead. I'll mix that up a bit. And yeah, we'll stay over in Europe for now. Now what I would say is, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, is that I've seen a fair few get it down, Jesus. Oh, that was a bounce. Terrible, terrible. I've seen a couple of videos in the past and more recently showing some of the default airports. Now, again, I mean this with respect, but the particular videos that I've seen, they really only show the normal, the typical ones. You know, your Heathrows, your bigger ones, your airports that are massive and not really, they're quite known, they're up there on the list, when a world update comes out and it's like, this big massive hub's been added and this, and some of the other smaller, maybe domestic airports, but again, still well known. This is why I wanted to do the videos like this, or at least live streams. I'm still undecided. I mean, obviously, technically, videos are also nice to do so you guys can see them. But the live streams, they're longer, do you know what I mean? You have to sit through them. I will try and put chapters in this. But I wanted to show something different, you know what I mean? I wanted to show the other airports, the smaller ones, sometimes just as big maybe. But again, in the kind of way that we are, they are used to on the channel here with, I don't even know if we're parking up right here. I apologize. Yeah, I wanted to have a good look around what you've come accustomed to the channel here, not just the typical ones. That's what I'm trying to say. And again, no disrespect, because probably should have just done them one at a time there, but it is what it is. Didn't even put the navigation or strobes on there, did I? No. Right, let's get into the drone. As I say, I want to get these in chapters and label them up, so if anyone's rewatching this stream, you guys can obviously jump to the list, and I'll make sure that there's obviously a list in the comments and stuff. But the first one we're looking at is Lima Sierra Zulu Bravo Bern Belp Airport, or just Bern Airport. As you can see, bit of a challenging one even for your smaller aircraft. You'll get some biz jets in here for sure, turboprops and stuff, you know. But it's not your international hub. It's very nicely done, this airport. It is, for me, if you paid for this, you'd be made up. Even better now that you're getting it for free. Also quite an easy airport to show off with everything just being on one side. Fully fenced up. There's the ground textures there. The grass around it probably isn't to the highest quality. In fact, it's not amazing, but you know, there's a lot of nice assets and models in this. You'll see the texturing and modeling is consistent throughout with these ones. With that said, I have noticed that there is some handcrafted default airports that just aren't on the same scale. Meaning that the quality and the detail just isn't the same. If you want to run onto this airfield, though, you definitely can. But yeah, this reminds me of Gaia simulations when they did their own payware stuff. But yeah, there's this inconsistency, and it's not bad. It's still nice, but you know, when you consider there's all this detailed foliage around here. Where are we in terms of, we're in May? Does the foliage change? I think this is custom foliage, as in this won't change, as you can see. Stick it back into the summer. I think just in general the lighting and just basically the lighting's a lot better to do these type of videos in. This guy's had a bit of a fender bender and kind of liquid metalled his way through there. I'm not here to criticize, but it is funny seeing stuff like that. As I said to before, that's why I was a bit confused with where we start with Gretchen, because I have seen some things floating above the ground, even on these handcrafted ones. But you will notice that, obviously, all of the car models are now the newer ones for 2024. You know, the more, you know, the nicer ones. These, you know, they don't have odd transparent sort of wheels, and everything's quite nice on these models. I mean, look at that. It's like, for default cars, as a developer, you know, if you really want to use the real world models and import them, and that's fine, but I think these are absolutely they're great. But yeah, there's just these ones that I've picked out, there's just so much detail in them, and it's not just in the airport, it's in the surroundings as well. I was quite surprised. The one that I'll show you, I think we'll head to it next. Klagenfurt. No, it's Klagenfurt, because if it's got a furt on the end, Klagenfurt. Lima, Oscar, Whiskey, Kilo. We'll go there next, and that one surprised me. That was a bit of a... I was pleasantly surprised. But look at the actual detailing on this sign. Like, it's little chips of paint, little rust, you know, little bits out of it. You expect a certain level with the handcrafted stuff. I didn't think we'd be getting this much, and it was, again, it's quite surprising to see it. Now, all these assets that you will see, you'll see some of these popping up in freeware airports more recently, because obviously people are using them, because the 2024 models, apart from the floating headlight, oh no, it's not, it is actually attached. Wow. Yeah, you know, you can access these as a developer. Really nice. And as I say before, like I said, the textures on the buildings, rust and everything. This one is just so nice. Look at that. exposure in the brick as well. Is that a texture or is that actually 3D? No, it's a texture, but it's a really good texture. Really fantastic. Hate to admit it that I only discovering so many of these airports that included. Yeah, well, this is why I want to do the airport, because this is why I want to do the live stream, because it is very easy to forget these exist if you don't install the update, because some people don't do it because they don't fly in this area of the world, not just here but where everything else is. You know, I always install the world updates, even in 2020, but it's even easier now because you don't install them, do you? It's all streamed, so it's very easy just to activate them on 2024, and it's not really, you know, they're not taking any space on your hard drive anymore. Realistically, they shouldn't really be affecting performance, although I'd be interested to see if deactivating some of the world updates would make a difference. I'm in the same, and I've flown up this airport quite a few times, but never realised the sheer amount of detail in it. This is it, and I only started doing this last week, fell down the rabbit hole of looking into these. As I say, I had a video to do. He's had a real fender bender there. But yeah, I had a video to do, which luckily is done now. And I just spent a fair few hours, not just in Switzerland, and it was everywhere else. Are we in Switzerland right now? Are we? I think so. LO is Austria, isn't it? LS is Switzerland. Yeah, I really shouldn't have, but I spent a lot of time going through a list of airports because, like I said, I did see inconsistencies. Like, you've got this one, but then other handcrafted airports, I've noticed they're just not as detailed. Now, that might be because they were done earlier, so in earlier world updates, obviously things got improved. Obviously they started doing world updates for 2024, but we haven't had many for 2024, have we? We haven't had a lot. Have we had 2, 3 world updates in 2024? So it's interesting. We've had more than that, surely. We had Japan, didn't we? And we had something else. We've had maybe 2 Americas. I can't think. But yeah, I tell you what, and this is what I'm talking about. These little areas here, I don't know what these are for, especially this one. The one over there seems like you can, as a person who's not got airside access, can go and actually walk up on these little pods and plane spot. These are quite interesting. I'd love to go here in real life because this little airfield looks amazing. And then to top it off, not to top it off, but look at that. Uber dem Meer. I'm assuming that's an actual Uber advertisement. 510 meters. But it is so diverse. The amount, it's quite even with the airport being on one side, you can start to sort of pick out all these. Now look at this. The roof textures on this building, proper Swiss building. And then I will say there is actually interiors to some of I don't think there's any interiors in this apart from like a couple of hangars and the ATC. But in others, I've found that there's actual terminal interiors, and I was like, what? Okay. And they've actually done the road, the road running along the airport as well. All custom signage. There's actually a little welcome, all these little bits, little bits of chips and paintwork gone out the sign. I mean, look at that. Very easy area just to sort of create and forget. Not advisement for Uber. Is it just because? Is it because it is Uber like it? That's not the Uber symbol, is it? No, it's not. It's the actual. I apologize for anyone who's Swiss who've been absolutely hard done by me. I apologize. No, that isn't. Isn't that what the Uber symbol looks like? Has it not got that? No, it's not. Why would it? Why would it? Why did I think that? It's not. It's the actual, you know, the alphabet, the Swiss. You know, I do know what I'm talking about sometimes, guys. But sometimes you just have to smack you in the face and go, "Don't be silly." I have me moments. I have me moments of complete silliness. But yeah, obviously not an Uber advertisement. What does it say though? What does it say? Why is it saying? Why is it? If you take the dem out, it actually is a Till Lindemann song from Rammstein. It's also German as well. Above the sea, above the level. No worries. Above the sea, above the, I reckon. It does mean above sea level. Yeah, it means over the sea. Just googled it. Yeah, it means above the sea level. I'm assuming it's these things here. I don't know. Interesting. But then Uber's Mia is an actual Till Lindemann song. The obviously the frontman of Rammstein. Or is it the frontman of Rammstein? It is. That is his name. I've started listening to it now. Probably gonna get copyrighted for that now. Right, so guys, let me carry on. But then look at this. Look at this building. Bern. And again, the model and the texture is fantastic. Look at that. It's a fantastically modelled airport, but then you've also got, look at the actual, you know, the landscape around this airport. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. We have got hangars. It's quite a fit. When we get over here, there's just even more. In fact, you know what? Over there, it looks like we've got some of the... We've actually got like an old barn and an old farm over there as well. That's been modelled. Fantastic, it really is. And then again, what I would say is this is a similar thing, guys. When I'm looking at airports, you know, for me, airport live streams, I haven't spent a lot of time here. I've had a little look around them, just enough to kind of get the idea and be like, yeah, that needs to be on the list. Some of it I still haven't seen. Full sort of glass interior here to the ATC. Do not believe this is collision because I have tried some of it out with the avatar. The avatar mode. And most of it does have a collision stop on the actual ATC. But there you go. Fully modelled ATC tower. Now you can. I'm in developer camera now. The only thing you can't do in development camera is change the speeds, but it does allow you to go inside interiors that you can't do in drone mode. And yeah, they're not you know, they're not fantastically detailed, but it's an interior, isn't it? You know. I think I was so surprised with the level of detail. General Aviation Centre as well. The signage is very, very neat, like really nicely done. It's actually a 3D asset, you know, it's not 2D. Oh, because it's developer mode, it's the developer camera, it's letting me obviously go into things. But yeah, you know, there's shadows behind that and everything. Fantastic. This is why I'm excited to see Gaia Simulations back and doing some of the, you know, not when I say their own stuff, you know, publishing it through their own channels. And Corfu is going to be amazing. I think obviously at this point Flight Hampers 1 is outdated now, in both obviously airport layout and the quality we're seeing nowadays with these airports. And it's going to be interesting to see Gaia Simulations, how they've evolved, and see if what we're getting with Corfu is going to be even better than this. Look at this hangar, and look at the fuel area as well, the tanks. Look how intricate it all is. Really, really nicely done. You know, actual signage, actual advertisements as well. Let's have a little look in this hangar. You know, it's got things in it. Fantastic, lovely. Massive big hangar here as well. Nothing open, but again, all the authentic signs. Actual Air Force hangars as well. I didn't know Bern had an Air Force area. You can actually see over to the top of the image there what I want to show you. This is why over this part now is where I just was like, wow, okay, that is incredible. I think we've got another hangar. Yeah, we've got another hangar here. Possibly rescue helicopter plane station, possibly. But again, all the authentic signage. Let's have a little look and see what kind of night lighting, because I know I'm terrible with night lighting, folks. So I do apologise. Yeah, everything lit up nicely to the kind of the new 2024 lighting system. Nicely done. Very nice. Very, very nice. Love to see it, especially when it's of this level and this standard, you know. Everything's, you know, everything's here. You know, I've not been to Bern airport, but I feel like every little detail is included. And what makes it better is it is a default airport as well. And definitely payware quality. Definitely. I don't know if you can necessarily call these freeware, but you know, it is free. Before we head over that way, guys, because this is where it starts building up, and I was just really impressed with what they've done. Just over to the left there, I think over here we might have some plane spotters, mightn't we? Just over to the end of the airport here. Or they could be doing something else. Some nice flowers as well, look at that. Don't know if these change with the seasons. Let's have a little look. Yeah, they do, fantastic. Good stuff. Yeah, I want to just... I haven't actually seen this. This is something I only just noticed while doing the live stream. Is this massive sort of farm complex as well. In fact, we have a bit more over there. Jesus. That is actually the helicopter station, so it's actually part of the airport. There you go. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And what I would say straight off the bat is that some payware even some that I've taken a look at recently, you don't get things this far out of the airport. Can we see it at night? Yeah, I mean, I can turn it back on tonight again in a minute. But yeah, look, whole, you know, even the little wires going across the barns. You have then noticed that they're using the older airport, the older car models here, which is a bit odd. But then there's a new one there, just kind of mixed anyway. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, yeah, didn't notice that so Bern has got a grass runway as well, or maybe 2 or 3 grass runways around here. So we have actually got the helicopter build terminal hangars and the hang gliding ones as well. Not hang gliding, just gliders. There you go, look at that. Fantastic. So for me, apart from your commercial stuff, this really does. You've got the scenery. You've got helicopters, gliders, general aviation, business jets. The only thing you don't really have is any sort of cargo or commercial. You can even go military with this one. You've got a wide range of possible aircraft to fly with this airport, and it just looks spot on. Really, really is. Definitely one of my favourites from the list, this one. There's one of those sports car models that was included in 2024. Look how detailed the car models are, for God's sake. Look at that. Which, you know, I've mentioned it in live streams before, but this kind of thing only makes me think Microsoft are gonna, at some point, maybe not with this particular simulator, but maybe in a future one, branch out, maybe even having a standalone kind of simulator, you know, I don't know, not transport simulator, but something that involves drivable cars and stuff like that, because those car models are just, for me, I think sort of, because they're not real makes, they're kind of like, you know, GTA 5, maybe even between GTA 5 and 6 models, because they're really, really nicely done. Anyway, that's for another day. That definitely for another day. Yeah, let's have a little quick look at the night lighting before we head over to our next one. As I say, I'll leave the American one for at the end of the stream, which, to be fair, we spent an awful lot of time with this one, maybe half an hour. There we go. Bern does look like it's got its sort of near enough full array of lighting instruments as well. Got some zigzags, you got your pappies and stuff like that. Also as well, what I would like to point out is we've spoke about this on other live streams before, but when you aren't using parallaxed or an actual interior, this is how your interior night lighting should be done. So if you've just got a 2D baked texture or thereabouts, you haven't got like an actual 3D space, because parallaxed is still kind of a, you know, a little box, isn't it? That's how you do 2D lighting. To kind of fake interior lighting. Look at the windows. Couple of airports we looked at in the last year or so, we've definitely seen interior lighting without a 3D interior. We've seen the lighting on windows look really, really poor. In fact, kind of what we saw back when 2020 first came out, and it does still appear in some of the auto-generated airports, and it's a really horrible sort of, just like a diffused light on a window. I've noticed in this airport that it is obviously a you know, a fake 2D texture with lights as the texture, but it works well. Do you know what I mean? Even those there, and the hangar here as well, kind of would give the illusion of even a 3D interior without actually doing one as well. Probably not amazing here, but again, the point I'm trying to make is that we are seeing some payware airports by third-party developers where they just don't quite get the interior lighting when they're not using a 3D interior. Right, this is nice. This is what I'd expect. This kind of lighting here. All 2D windows, no 3D space in there. Really nicely done, guys. Very impressed with Bern. It's a lovely location, and it's a very well done airport as well. Let's head over to Klagenfurt. Probably not the way we're supposed to be saying it, so I do apologise. Have I got any drink left in this? My throat's already dry. We are heading over to Lima, Oscar, Whiskey, Kilo. This is another one where I was really sort of like, wow, they've done so much with it. Again, not a massive airport, definitely a lot bigger than Bern, but yeah, I was very pleased with this one. Let's just stick our Baron over here. I'm not too concerned about flying on this one. We probably shouldn't have done in the first place. But anyone re-watching the live stream as a video, then you know the chapters will help you go to these other airports. But this one's another one. This one probably not as densely detailed, admittedly, but let's have a little look. Also, guys, if you didn't know, probably so many people do. I have known for a while, but my drone button on my Stream Deck doesn't do it. You can actually put it into drone mode with your avatar still standing there. I just think it would be cool if we could record the avatar. I have tried it and it doesn't seem to work, but it'd be cool if you could record your avatar walking and stuff. While you can obviously record them walking, but in cinematic mode. Again, you can record it. I'm trying to replay mode. It'd be good if you could replay your character. So if I wanted to do a different camera angle and stuff, I can, you know, I don't know, you know, do this around them while it is the replays playing back. Anyway, off topic again, but there you go. So this is, as I say, Klagenfurt. Now, again, fully 3D modeled, texture works fantastic, and yeah, as you can see, got that kind of I want to say Hanover Airport type control tower, very reminiscent of that. But there's a lot in this one. We're going to get a bit morbid straight off the bat. But as you can see, if we tuck ourselves around the back of the hangars, you'll see even more hangars. This has also got a grass strip as well. Everything is auto-gen buildings over this way, so no photogrammetry. But the scenery around is just as stunning as Bern. You definitely got some sort of closer mountains over this way. Texture on the runway and taxiways is brilliant as well. But if you have a little look, this one includes a fully modelled cemetery. So I do apologise for getting a bit weird on yous, but yeah, this one does include, for some reason, the actual full cemetery, which oddly enough, isn't on our approach path. It is over to the left of the approach, so it definitely is visible. But yeah. Also, we have some train tracks as well. Actually, we've got model train tracks. Would have been cool to see some maybe moving trains or even just static trains, you know. But we do have a fully modeled train track all the way down to a certain point, which is fantastic. There is a kind of weird thing in the road here. I will show you. Should have been a bridge, maybe. I think the bridge supposed to be for the train track, but hasn't been modelled. Again, bit of an odd one for me. I'm getting critical on free default airports here, so I do apologise, but there's a lot being modelled in this space, but there's no bridge. I was trying to say tunnel at the same time as saying bridge there. But yeah, every grave is the same, but it's a graveyard. So if you were ever wondering to yourself, are graveyards fully modelled in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Well, there's this one. Be cool if Gaia Simulations put a little 3D ghost in there at night. Maybe they have. We'll have a little look at night. But yeah, there is a default airport with a cemetery for anyone interested. FS Train Switzerland is really good with the 3D tracks all over the country. Need to have a look at that. Definitely. I know there's an American one, isn't there, as well. It is honestly just a shame that it's also a bit of an anomaly with the landscape in here. But yeah, the actual building itself is fully there. Look at that. You know. It is all there. Yeah, there's an American one. I'm still really not annoyed. It's disappointing that we haven't got proper roads and train tracks and trains like we've got on X-Plane, because it's so good on X-Plane. It really is. It's so well done as well. It does up immersion. Some people won't be interested in that, but yeah, the trains and the road traffic on X-Plane is just miles ahead. But yeah, look, that train track does actually come into the airport boundaries as well. Again, it would have been nice to see a little train in there, but yeah, kind of stops there. But there's a train track. I think it's supposed to go all the way to the platform here, but again, for a default airport, all the roadway is done as well. There's no cars, default road traffic run until further along. I've actually got a police station here as well. A couple of the houses have been done with the driveways here as well, I've noticed. And then the airport itself is fantastic. The ATC tower is really well done. Austrian logos and marketing around the actual building as well. Bit more of a simplistic version of the ATC towers, but you'll see a Gaia Simulations logo right there if you're ever in doubt. But yeah, another one that's just really well modelled and textured. All the glass canopy there as well. Funnily enough, it's not done both sides, which again is quite surprising for Gaia Simulations to miss the ball on that one. Yeah, that's quite interesting. But very nicely done. A lot of ground clutter as well. The hangars here, a clock or Glock hangars here. All the businesses are all labelled up as well, I've noticed. That's what I would say as well, that even on some payware airports you don't get the level of branding and signs as well. Some developers just don't bother with it. Definitely not the case on these ones. Really, really well done. Again, when this is available afterwards, I will put the chapters in so that it's easily accessible for each airport, and you can just go between them. Whether I make any more, whether I do videos for the rest of the list that I've got, I don't know yet. I might just do more live streams. We'll see. There's a partial interior here, little open window, which is a nice little detail. Can't fault the ground clutter. The ground clutter's done really well, even down to a little toolbox here with some gloves. Look at that. Some cement here. Looks like they're going to do some maybe construction work around here. And then the road, the car parks and the road textures are all mapped out to a, quite, far out. Even I think that even goes all the way around. And we're not done, by the way, guys, because it carries on. The road itself is textured quite far, I've noticed. VR Flight Sim guy, nice to see you, SD, mate. Good to see you. No one has an eye for detail like you, mate. Love these live streams. I'll share on my Discord. Thank you so much, mate. I really, really appreciate it. Honestly, mate, the research. What I would say really is the research. Actually, I don't spend too long in the airports for the sake of initial live stream reactions for me to discover extra details, but it's going to the airports and really having a look around them to see if they are as detailed as some people say, or at least as you think they're going to be. But I've said a few times, these just seem a bit more detailed than usual, because there is loads of handcrafted airports. Maybe for me it's similar to... A good example for me would be if you look at EMEET Manchester Airport, then you take EMEET Dallas Fort Worth. Both excellent. Manchester, for obvious reasons, is more densely populated and a lot smaller. So the detail that EMEET could put into Manchester compared to Dallas, do you know what I mean? Can you imagine the amount of objects to densely populate Dallas Fort Worth to the level of Manchester? It would absolutely cripple any system. So I think it's the same true here. I think that the smaller the airport, I think Gaia Simulations have just been able to spend a bit more time on them. Even down to this, I don't know if this is like, a private residence here, but like a farm just overlooking the airport, which again would be a fantastic place to live. Maybe it's some kind of pub and country, visitor thing, I don't know. But yeah, it carries on. In fact, if you look here, I mean, I wouldn't be driving through this tunnel. But it's nicely done, isn't it? Look at the detail on it. Very nicely done. Again, we're not... Yeah, there's no actual slipway, so I definitely wouldn't be coming down here. There's more, and there's even more outside of the airport as well. There's an actual full sort of factory. I think these are definitely auto-gen, I'd imagine. Yeah, I think they are. But definitely kind of been modified a bit by Gaia Simulations. There we go. This is definitely the helicopter base here. Nicely done. Again, I'll make sure I come back to the airport for the night light, and I really need to give myself prompts for that. I need a little prompter, little alarm. Don't forget to show the night lighting on each one. So there's pretty much nothing. In fact, this might not be the airport that I'm thinking of. There was something down further that I wonder what airport that was. You'll have to wait on another video, because I don't think it's... Oh, no, it is this one. It is this one. It is this one. So as you can see, the road is still actually modelled. There's no traffic on it, but if you stay with me, you're then going to start seeing more 3D buildings. Again, you know, we're not anywhere near the airport now. It is down there. We've made our way all the way down to the end of the runway. But we have... Look at this. Little warehouse here. Loads of clutter. Vans, pallets. Cherry pickers. Cherry pickers are the little crane things. That's what we used to call it when I used to work in a warehouse when I was very young. Although it looks like the textures have been completely missed out of them. You've got that. You've got this. Man truck services with a couple of man trucks outside of them. Fantastic. Fantastic. And then we have a 3D modeled IKEA. Guys, look at this. It's not a photogrammetry one, because there is quite a few photogrammetry IKEAs. This is a 3D Gaia Simulations modeled, and a metro as well over there as well. So just at the end of the runway, as you're coming in, you have got some 3D assets around here. And they're all very nicely done. I did actually post this screenshot in my Discord, I think. Because I think it is probably the IKEA, the best IKEA with a view. Look at that. Can't say the IKEA in Warrington has a view like this. I think the best you're going to get is the M62, but that is the best IKEA with a view. Okay, well, that's cool. This is really excellent. Yeah, again, I started... so I got... The reason why I discovered this, because I could have easily not seen it, because we're not that close to the airport anymore, is because I went up above and I was like, oh, that's an IKEA, because they're quite noticeable with how blue they are. But as I got closer, I was like, that is 3D model. That is not a photogrammetry one. There's also this as well. There's a metro shop here. There's also a few more other ones over there that have been 3D modeled. Fantastic approach, definitely goes without saying, but you know, a couple of shops here thrown in. And again, I'll point out these are completely free handcrafted airports. You know, essentially freeware if you want to argue the toss, but very nicely done. There's a couple of different 3D ones there. Mayway, Houseman, an AGM. This is like a gross market, like a, I don't know, maybe like an Aldi type shop, I don't know. But yeah, and then it's just a shame that we've got this kind of ground texture in here, but I tell you what, look at that. Chef's kiss. Fantastic. Let's head back over. Let's see what the night lighting's like, and then we'll head to... We won't be spending much time, but we'll head over to Slovakia, because I've got one there to show you. The night lighting's just been so, like, 1,000 times better than when the sim first came out. It wasn't bad, but they definitely have improved it, haven't they? Mrs. TPHI, good to see ya. Hi, hello. So yeah, anyone rewatching the stream, I will be putting chapters in, making it a bit more easier, especially with the sort of the start of the stream taking a bit longer to kind of warm up. But yeah, we're taking a look at some handcrafted airports that are available, obviously free or a part of the simulator, as part of the world update. So again, these can be missed in my opinion, even if you download the world updates. For me, I think it's quite easy to miss them, because let's face it, guys, we don't visit every airport we get in these world updates. And sometimes we don't even install the world updates. Like I said before, very easy to have all the world updates on 2024 with it being streamed. It's you know, people did at first moan about the whole streaming situation. People still do. But I think when it comes to these updates, the fact that it's just streamed in rather than sitting there waiting for updates is fantastic for the most part. Night lighting just as good. No, quality is just the same for me. Like we saw in Bern or Belp. Night lighting's fantastic, really immersive. Very nicely done. I am excited to see what Gaia Simulations do with Corfu. Any ghosts in the graveyard? Like I showed you before, guys, this does have a fully 3D graveyard. That was quite a funny one to see. But if you do want to take a virtual walk in a graveyard in Microsoft Flight Simulator, come and visit this one. This is a Klagenfurt Airport, Lima Oscar Whiskey Kilo, and yeah, that's our second one. Let's head over to Slovakia now. Then we'll head over to the UK, and then we'll end the live stream hopefully in the United States. This probably will take us past the normal stream time, but I'm trying to cram stuff in here, so I'm really going to have to do more night flying. Yeah, I'm going to have to too, because it looks fantastic, doesn't it? Thank you everyone for joining in and getting involved today. I really appreciate it. Big thank you to obviously Stevie, our flight sim guy, for sharing the stream, but also everyone coming in now and also rewatching the stream as a video, because these are the types of streams I like doing every stream. But when we start getting into airports, I think that's another one that might be a handcrafted one. You can see it's a lot smaller. In fact, I think on one of these lists, I'm pretty certain that we also have quite a small one. It's not in this one though. It might be on one of the other lists. This one we're going to now is Lima Zulu Tango Tango. This has got a name which I'll again probably butcher, but this is Poprad-Tatry. So is also fully available as a beautiful model of the world's airport. This is kind of a, I would say, a bit smaller than Bern. Actually, a lot smaller than Bern. I don't think it's as densely detailed, but for me, this one has probably got one of the best views I've seen in an airport. Couple of grass strips, fairly decent sized runway as well. Let me show you this one, guys, because we won't be here long with it being, I think it's probably the smallest we've seen so far. Nicely detailed. The view you're going to get on this one, all great. You can already see the view now. Look at that. Fantastic. Your building quality, your texture quality, still just really, really nice. Like I said at the start of the stream, the quality of the buildings and everything, the ground clutter is great. Performance-wise, they're all pretty similar. Lovely little area here for some GA, but we saw the view, so let's just have a look at it now. Look at this. Wow. I mean, yeah. Would you wanna come out of this airport? Would you just want to stay here? Let's get some leaves on the trees. I mean, look at that. There's something behind me that's stopping me. There we go, that building there. I think the screenshot that I took was like over the airport. So here's the airport itself from above. And that's your view. And that's your view. Oh my god, it used to be my favourite airport before I got into photogrammetry. I can see why. I mean, the quality of the... Even when you start getting in, it's not too bad. The amount of trees there. Not far from obviously my favourite country, Czech Republic. Obviously once part of, you know, Czechoslovakia, of course. Also quite a nice one to say as a Scouser, Czechoslovakia. Bit of the road network done here as well, straight onto the motorway here. And yeah, it's another one where it's nicely... I think this has got a geek... it's got a practically geek. It's got a gatekeeper. Has it? No. I have seen some of these airports that have got a lot of aircrafts on the gates. We do have some nice signage though. Look at that. Lovely stuff. I'm pretty certain you do get commercial flights into this one. I'm pretty certain there was a Ryanair parked up at one point on my AI traffic on this one. Don't know if there's an actual American style fire hydrant here, but interesting. But again, just the same amount of detail. This one doesn't have any of those new car models, which is quite interesting. It seems to me that it kind of does. It doesn't have those weird... Oh yeah, it does have the 2D weird, like, doesn't have the textures from the model from the other side. There's a word for it. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, definitely equally as detailed as the others. Just, I would say, because it's a bit smaller, there's only so much we can do with this one. 3D signs, actual ATC interior as well. There we go, Gaia Simulations logo again spotted. There it is. Fair play to them. This is why I'm so excited to see what they've done with Corfu, because obviously we do need a new Corfu, don't we? Flight Hampers. I think Flight Hamper are planning to update their Corfu. I don't know whether they will now. Depends how far they've got with it. But with Gaia Simulations doing it, would there be a point? I don't know. We'll see. Bit of a sort of an auto-generated hut there, but that view though, look at that. Fenced off as well. In fact, if we have a little look of here, just before we have a little look at the main apron, you can see that the outer sort of fences here are really nicely done. They're not the normal, look at this, they're kind of a wood fence as well. Got like a metal fence run along here, and then as we get here, got some hay bales, which I think are a similar situation. These are kind of an auto-gen thing, and they do appear in fields. I thought it was part of a scenery at one point, but I started noticing that's actually part of the default 2024 scenery. Nicely done, Gaia Simulations. Well done. There we go. Little airport vehicle there. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. What I would say as well, I have got now, I think these lights won't be the ones that some people have. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed, but these aren't the default lights, guys. These are actually part of the enhanced lights by Flight Simulations. So if you notice that, I don't know, some of my videos or some other people's videos, you'll notice the lights on the airport aren't actually ones that you have. These are the enhanced lights by Flight. The same guys who do the Brazilian airports. Funnily enough, the same guys who came from Gaia Simulations. But yet, you'll notice that the airport lights are bloody gorgeous. Like, that kind of quality. So if you don't have those lights, it's because they're enhanced runway lights by Flight Simulations. Just a little shout out to those guys, because they are a good friend of the channels. And as you know, if you tuned into my Brazilian airports live stream, their Brazilian airports are blooming fantastic. They really are really well done. Apron clutter and ground clutter, again, lovely quality on them. More logos, nice little little, I don't know, that looks dodgy in them. 3D logos and signs and everything. No interior to this one, but again, really nicely done. Definitely not, definitely something you wouldn't expect to be a default airport. That this airport definitely does have the Slovak/Czech kind of look to it. It really does. The buildings are very like Soviet type looking buildings, very brown and grey, blocky. Very similar. Very, very nicely done. Another really nice one I recommend for the actual default airport itself, but also that view. Let's have a little look. I know we are kind of jumping over them now, this one being a bit smaller, but I do want to try and get all listed airports in on this one. Bit of flicker in there, unfortunately, but oddly enough, not seeing much flickering with these default airports. Is quite funny. Again, the 2D texturing for the night lighting on the lights, that's the way I do it. Like I said before, some of the payware airports I've taken a look at over the past year or so, even beyond that, they just use it's just a blank sort of little panel, just a light, and this is great because it's a 2D. It's almost like it definitely is a photo texture, if you like, of the airport. From a distance, looks fantastic. I mean, up close, probably it's gonna start breaking a bit of the illusion, but even then, I think that's the best way to do. If you're not going to do a proper interior, that's the way how to do lights at night. The gate here looks a bit luminous. I'm not too sure if it's supposed to be like that. Weirdly, sort of, I don't know. Yeah, something hasn't gone right there. Unless it is like that, unless it's been painted in like a luminous blue paint or something. But again, night lighting's fantastic. I can't fault it, and the view's still fantastic. This view's still very, very nice. Spot on. That was Poprad-Tatry, Slovakia. Lima Zulu Tango Tango. We've seen Bern Airport, so Lima Sierra Zulu Bravo, and we've been to Klagenfurt Airport, Lima Oscar Whiskey Kilo. We've still got 2 others on the list, and if I can get another one in, I will do. We're going to head over to my home country now, because there's a few handcrafted airports in the UK. Some really good ones. Before we head to the one that I'm going to, I still think Manchester Barton, so Manchester City Airport, still needs a third party intervention. I think a third party still needs to jump on Barton Aerodrome, because it is very nicely done. It's just, for some reason, it's just not quite there. There's a lot missing. Just the finer details. The one that I want to show you in the UK is not Stansted or Manchester or a couple of others. I would say Cork is quite nice as well. Donegal, it's small, but it's very, the scenery around it's really well done. No, it's actually Cardiff. The reason why I want to show you Cardiff is because there is payware alternatives to this. You know, there is payware alternatives, open hangars and everything. But I think for the detail on this one, this is another brilliant one. This has got some floating assets that don't look right, but the principle and the idea of them is fantastic, and I didn't even expect the finer details to be added in. Let's park over here on the sort of the general aviation part of the airport, which again is included. Something that some third parties don't do. I've seen a lot of airports with general aviation / business jet aprons that just aren't added in. They're not included. This is very well done. Again, this is probably one that's... Hang on a minute, what are you doing there? This is one that's probably a bit more known and being visited. Definitely. Scenery around this one's gorgeous. Really, really nice positions to fly in and out of. You've got a lot of options. Business jets, general aviation, definitely commercial. You've got a fair few airlines coming out of Cardiff. But have a look at this. You've got the, again, photogrammetry, a lot of photogrammetry areas in the UK now. Very nicely, very nice coverage. Not great when you're up close to it. Still got that green shadow, plus very melty. But look at the surrounding walls. You've got those cinder block walls surrounding the airport. The texturing and modelling of the hangars is great. Look at the window. They're not 2D windows. There's actually a ledge to this. You know, it's recessed into the building. You know, fantastic work, really is. Hey, just stopping by, wants to say that I really enjoyed content and appreciate the effort put in. Keep on going, mate. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thanks for stopping in, having a little look. It's always a pleasure, and I'm just keeping building confidence up with the live streams and my videos too. I won't bore you guys, but my confidence over the years has slipped and diminished as my sort of overall mental health has slipped. But I won't talk about that too much. You know, people don't like to hear it sometimes, and I don't like to say it a lot anyway. But yeah, it's all about sort of my journey as I go along, and aviation's my passion. And this is the best way to do it. I tell you what, these trucks, you know, the default trucks, look at the detail in them. Saying this before, really, really nice. Didn't notice this little building here though. Look at this. This building has definitely been here at Cardiff Aerodrome from when it first opened. Definitely, look at it. Really has, look at that. But this is what I was saying before. Some of these developers, as good as they are, sometimes fail to include the full airport. If I'm spending money on an airport scenery, I definitely want to have the full thing. And look at this hangar. It's not open, but the texture work around it on the taxiway and the apron. Look at the textures on this. You know, and then if you get it just in the right light, if you get it going down, get some leaves on the trees. If you get this in the right light, maybe over that way. There you go, with a bit of light on it. Look at that. Then you start seeing the little bits of oil and water. It's so good. It's really, really good. And again, handcrafted default, you don't pay a penny for them. You just activate or download the world update in your sim, and it's yours. And in most cases, I wouldn't bother paying for the payware. If you discover an airport that you really want, it's your local, it's part of the world update, go and have a look at, if it's a handcrafted airport, obviously, go and have a look at it first, see what it's like, because honestly, it's a very hard proposition to them go and buy the paid version. I know it sounds silly. I think most people would be on the idea of, well, no, if there's a good handcrafted version, I'm not going to bother. I know when you consider some of the payware developers are just take it even further. Performance is equal, but it's just you know, RW Profiles Newcastle, for example. I know there's no handcrafted version for it, but if you look at maybe Orbex Newcastle and then RW Profiles Newcastle, yeah, I mean, there's a distinct difference in the quality there. Your effort putting all this together is very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Another good one is Acarona. Yes, I have. Yeah. So, fully enough, Acarona was available as a payware airport, and I can't remember who did it, and I had it on the channel years back, and it was really good. And I did notice that as part of the handcrafted list. It's probably one that I'm going to pop onto the list. As I say, I've got a list there. There's another 20 or 15. There's a lot. Not in this stream, by the way, guys. I won't be doing that to you, don't worry. But either in future live streams or potential videos. But yeah, it'll definitely go on there. Look at that. The fire training facility as well, nicely done. All right, yeah, textures get a bit more outdated there when you start looking into it, but I think it's part of the airport that is definitely more of a visual showpiece than one that you'll go and look at loads, like I'm doing here. Really well done. Scorch marks on the on sort of the main one here. You know, a bit of a Frankenstein of a plane. But yeah, nicely textured. Some of the new car models and truck models included in this one as well. And this is just one side of the airport. We haven't got to the actual main terminal or the British Airways hangar as well. Which, again, it looks fantastic. And there's still more on this one. This might take us a bit longer. But if you guys are up for it, we can carry on. Possibly a hotel. Definitely looks like it, doesn't it? Possibly, I don't know, a random hotel down the end of a lane that is closed off. And by the way, you know, you got your perimeter fences as well all the way around, little sort of you know, porta cabins as well. Is that a hotel? We need to check that, don't we? Is that is that a hotel? Come on. If it is, I'm gonna go and stay at it. Cardiff Airport, where are you? How far is it from actual Cardiff Airport? Is it one of those airports that's years away from the city centre? Like Belfast International. Belfast International is basically in Dublin. Same as Warsaw Modelling. That is 2 years away from Warsaw. Where's Cardiff Airport? Jeez, I can't find it. Is it that far? No, it's not too bad. It was right there, right underneath my camera. It is the Highway Inn. Highway Inn and pub. Is it a pub or is it a hotel? Is it both? 4.6 out of 5 stars, 1,700 reviews. Hey, it looks lovely, doesn't it? I mean, you are quite close to sort of, you know, the cliffs, the sea and stuff. The is it the Bristol Channel? Is it we here? Yeah, it's an actual, yeah. I mean, it's not dead close. I'd say it was further out than Liverpool and stuff. Probably about the same distance from, say, Manchester Airport to Manchester City Centre, just by eyeballing it. But yeah, that is a pub, the Highway Inn. and again, it's modelled fantastic. It's not perfect. It doesn't look exactly like it, but got some more stuff as well. I think these were parts of the world up. No, that's actual photogrammetry. It's very well done. Cardiff is probably one of the better handcrafted airports in the UK. As I say, Cork over in Ireland, that is really well done as well. I would say, looking at the top-down view from Google, runway textures, probably a bit too dark, makes it look brand new, like it's only just been tarmacked, you know. But yeah, heading round over to the British Airways hangar. This is another stunner as well. Fully logoed up. We've got an engine test bay, actual staff car park here as well. A little bit of landscape and bringing the actual building up onto the ridge as well. Very nicely done as well. Engine run-up bay as well, in case you, I don't know, want to simulate doing some engine testing. One of the bigger good airports is Munich. Yeah, I've seen Munich. Admittedly, I've actually got the, is it Simwings Munich installed? Could be a nice little comparison video. I definitely do want to do some comparison videos. Definitely what the channel used to do back in sort of 2020, 2021. So that'd be nice to bring those back. Because you know, there's payware versions that are available on top of these handcrafted versions. It is a shame. I'd wish Asobo would fix this. Microsoft and Asobo would fix the photogrammetry trees, because in photogrammetry areas, built up selection of trees, you're going to get all this horrible, you know, where the photogrammetry wants to render the trees in, but you already have the auto-generated trees, you know, the stream trees coming in there. And, you know, these are miles better than 2020, and yet you can't really appreciate them because you've got Mr. Blobby here. Even though Mr. Blobby was yellow, but, you know, the Hulk, I don't know. But you know what I mean? It looks like a load of broccoli, do you know? Like, it just ruins it, especially the fact that this is a 3D model building as well. It'd be cool. I mean, don't know if Microsoft and Asobo would ever do it. They might claim that there's no way to fix it, but I'm sure one of the talented freeware devs could do something about this. It's just, yeah. I know we're seeing like tree height fixes, and that's got better over the years, especially in 2024. But the photogrammetry trees are just, Aerodessa will be the person to definitely also back me up on it, because they do look terrible. I mean, that whole area right there, if that just had the normal trees in, it'd look amazing. But yeah, again, the road network is all actually modelled out here. The barriers to get into the facilities here as well. Really nicely done. The landscaping's really nicely done as well. The difference in heights of the hills and stuff. Oh, so Bijan Studio. So Bijan obviously was the guy who did a lot of the seasons for the trees in 2020. Obviously, we get that now as standard with 2024. You know, we have the trees change color. You know, some most lose the leaves. Most, obviously, the evergreens stay with the leaves on. But obviously, yeah, if you start getting into October, you'll see some trees start losing the leaves. As you can see, some keep their leaves, which is nice detail. Very, very nice. Obviously, in October here now, we've got the brown trees and stuff like that. But SU5 promises a fix for the state of... okay, that is interesting. Has it already been done in the beta, though? I know, obviously, they do update the betas, so it'd be interesting to see that. That's definitely one thing I'd love to see, because look at it, it's over here as well. And then you've got all this going on as well in the fields. The ground coverage, the ground satellite coverage, the quality of the ground texture is gorgeous. It's really, really nice. It's just, it's let down by this photogrammetry. It really is. There we go, guys. Here is the British Airways hangar. Now, I can't remember who does this. Possibly SoFly do this in Bristol, and I think there's definitely another Cardiff freeware, payware, maybe even freeware. I know this does open as part of those paywares. It doesn't in this one, but it's still very, very nicely modelled. There's no complaints from me on this one. Again, I don't really think we should be complaining anyway, but ground texturing is done. And then when we start getting close to the airport, you'll see there's... Look at this. This is what I want to show you. All in Welsh. Actual bus stops as well. Got to get going now, but I'll watch the video on demand after. Have a good night. Cheers. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, there's a road network around the airport, and all the real bus stops are there. And I think it's amazing that they've even bothered to do that, especially for a handcrafted airport. Again, a mixture of the old car models as well. But yeah, look, you've got all the bus stops. Reminds me of a bit of the Jet Parks. Jet Parks number 3 at Manchester. That's what they've got going there. With all, obviously, the pick-up points for the buses to then take you to the terminal, which is great. I mean, Jet Parks 3 is a bit more of a distance over to the terminal than it is here. I just make people walk. It's not really a walk, is it? Let's face it. It's only round there. Anyway. Get your ass off the buses and start walking. All these lovely, custom lights. It looks like maybe a CCTV camera. Here we go. Probably would have been in a mixture of Welsh and English, but who am I to say? All really nicely done, very detailed. I hope we get a fix for this. You'll notice this one. This has been quite a thing on 2024. This kind of weird see-through. It's basically see-through ground textures, and it happens to buildings as well. You can't quite figure out where this tree is. It looks like it might be underground. Yeah, it's underground. That's what it is. But then you can still see it through the ground. It's a bit of a weird thing, but hopefully that's fixed as well, because that's just as bad with the photogrammetry trees as well. I'm quite surprised. I honestly didn't think, especially Cardiff ones that I've not seen in default. Tell a lie. I actually filmed my first video back, my first cinematic, New Destinations, had a scene, yeah, in front of the British Airways hangar. So, but I've not explored it like this and seen just what they've done with the airport, and it's just so detailed. What's happened here? Now that is a texture glitch and a half. That is, look at that. You could do like a stunt in your car. Put it on two wheels. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. If you consider that is a default airport and not payware, wow, look at this. There you go. Spot on. That's really nice. Let's have a little look, because I wouldn't be doing my job. DHG. Is it a real plane? Oh yeah, you know it was. 737-300. Germany? Don't think I've never heard of them. Actually, I'll be honest. Looks like it was with Tobii as well. Tobii Fly in a bright yellow banana livery back in the day. Nice. But again, nice little detail. You know, it's in there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed that they've you know, modelled that building, and then just tucked up in the back there is a, you know, a once active aircraft. Car park's nicely done. Just there's a lot. This is how this is what I was saying, guys. That how dense the airports are with the amount of objects in them, the signs, the posts, the fences. Again, if you look at that, this is quite annoying. That's that weird kind of tree glitch. You know, yeah. You know, you can see that there's nothing really glitching through there. It's absolutely fine, but yet we've got this sort of anomaly going on, and the only way you can actually read that is to get up above. Again, texture-wise, it's really, really nice. And, you know, I've capped my frame rate at 40. I don't need 60. 40 is fine with me. Obviously, in VR, I want it to be a bit better, so I'd have to obviously disable that, but absolutely perfect running. I'd probably still get a bit more out of this as well, but I don't need it. I mean, for me, even the texture quality, you know, it is rivaling some of the payware stuff. A lot. There's a mixture. The older car models are there, but then you got newer car models as well, which you can visibly see the difference in the quality. So much, guys. You know, there's so much to see in this one, because it's a massive. It's obviously it's not a massive airport when you compare it to some of the international ones, but compared to what we've been through on this stream, it's the biggest, and still tightly packed with detail. Everything's there. Signs, you know, real world signs. Some bits of floating, which, you know, a bit of a shame, but you know, when you get, look at this. I mean, yeah. Another one where I can say, you know, if it was one that I paid for and this is what I got, more than happy with the results. And again, I don't know if anything has been updated with this one, but obviously this world update was a bit further back. You know, it's not a new world update, so the quality's there. International arrivals there. There you go. Nice italic arrival sign in English and in Welsh. Probably should have been the other way around. I don't know, but I think that's part of just that. Always that Wizz aircraft always pops up there. I think it's part of the just flight traffic. I think it is anyway. But yeah, another fantastic one. Really is. I'll take you to the apron. Obviously, the night textures, the night lighting as well. and you can really see how populated it is, and then where the the tarmac starts changing to the orange tarmac as well. Really, it's so nice, and I think this is another one where I'll start to sort of back Microsoft and Asobo up is when, you know, they do get their hard times over social media and everywhere else. It's just the way it is, but I think you've got to also realize that they give us a lot of things for free. They really, really do. These world updates could have easily just been a case of this one's a tenner, this one's 15 quid. You know what I mean? Because, you know, people stick, mostly from what I'm seeing, the trend, stick to certain areas. Sometimes you venture out and fly in other locations, but people could have easily just, my opinion, they could have easily just went, world update blab 10, 15 quid, you get this and this, you can have it if you want. If you don't fly in that area, you don't need to buy it. But no, it's all free. You know, I'd expect some updates to be free. It's part of, you know, fixing and improving the game. Game. I apologize. The simulator. That's goes without saying. But all the little added extras, you know, every so often some new planes in there, planes that are created by third-party developers in most cases, Coronado and a couple of other guys. So the quality's there. Okay, systems might not be there, and how the aircraft flies might not be for the hardcore crowd, but yeah, Cardiff's another fantastic one. There's a couple in the UK. I'd say, for instance, if you go over to Stansted, I don't think that's on this level of quality. Look at that bridge over there. Definitely one of the points of interest included. And like I said, there's a road all the way around here with the bus stops. Look at this. They were floating last time I checked. Yeah, they're still kind of. Oh no, this one isn't now. Oh, yeah, some of it still is. That one's fully committed to floating. But yeah, you know, you've got the road with a couple of fences around it, and then over here there's a little, again, more people plane spotting. I hope they are. You know, and that road goes all the way around. You can see some of the seafront simulations, global vessels off onto the channel there as well, I've noticed. Definitely another one I'd recommend. I was going to live stream all about this, but I might do. It's not a new add-on at this point, but it's very immersive. If you're flying over a lot of locations over water, definitely one to purchase. Quite cheap as well, 15 quid, something like that. And then obviously your view in to Cardiff Airport is gorgeous, except for the bad photogrammetry. But I don't know if this is a 3D modeled. Is it? It's photogrammetry, but it's actually not too bad, really. Not too bad at all. Be a lovely little park to go in and see the planes. That one. And then when you get to a certain height, the photogrammetry looks very nice in the UK, especially over Liverpool. I'm not just saying that for you know, because I'm from Liverpool, but it is the photogrammetry cities in the UK are done really nicely. There you go. You can see Cardiff off into the distance over there as well. Millennium Stadium, full 3D model. And then again, some of those seafront simulations vessels there. Spot on, guys. Well, we have gone over the time I usually stream for 2.5 hours, but you know, that's not a problem. We'll carry on. We're going to head over to... We didn't do the night lighting, did we? So we're not going to cancel. I apologise. There we go. Yeah, night lighting looks so much nicer in Sim Update 4. Probably could still do with a bit more work, but here is the airport. Nice mixture of you know, lighting, your cooler tones, your warmer tones. There you go, there's the Holiday Inn, all lit up nicely. British Airways hangar obviously dominating the skyline when you're over the top here. Probably not the best. They've definitely not bothered with the interior lighting on this one. So probably, yeah, bit of a strange one, this one, with how detailed the airport is, and the fact that, you know, over in Europe, all these 2D windows had interior lights to them. I don't think these are blacked out windows at Cardiff. Maybe someone could tell me that. I don't know, but even then, I'd expect a bit of lighting from these. Control towers, obviously, yeah. Bit of an odd one. Still can't really deny the overall detail with this one, though. Yeah, a bit of a strange one not to see any actual terminal lighting. The general aviation area looks gorgeous. I think for me, this is where things get into sort of the photorealistic realm when you're over this side. The texturing on the aprons and the taxiways. You've even got some lighting on the buildings here. Look, I don't even think that's the light. Is that wood over the wood over the windows? But yeah, love to see the general aviation / sort of business, maybe even business jet side of the apron getting love. What is that? That's that. Is it a power plant or something? It's the Aston Martin factory, is it? No, I don't think it is. N Power. Is it a nuclear facility? I think it's the N Power sort of plant. Anyway, folks, let's head over to the US of A and have a little look. I can't wait till AI is able to auto-generate like airports. Imagine that, all airports in the sim would be. Yeah, but I don't know. I still think I was commenting recently on a sort of the old thing about AI and how it might play into flight simulation with scenery and stuff like that. I don't know if we're gonna get. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's some interesting things going on with AI, and some things are really, really nice to see. Some things are a bit more scary to see. Some things are just downright stupid and shouldn't be allowed. But yeah, that is interesting, because would they be able to give us a detailed recreation? I think it needs to be a good couple of years away before that, because I still don't think AI could fill in the gaps. Because obviously we're getting photogrammetry done by satellites and 3D satellite imagery and stuff, and it's great, but it's not perfect. But that AI would definitely have to be streamed in. I don't think AI would be creating the models exactly, and then the developers just add them in. I think it would all be streamed AI data, which, yeah, it's hey, I tell you what, it's a nice thought to think that, yeah, everything, even down to houses and buildings, will be in there. But yeah, I don't know. AI at this point definitely couldn't give us a spot on a Telluride or Sedona or, you know, even Denver. I don't think it'd be able to get exactly everything how it is. That's why I think developers have still got the upper hand right now, because they can either go there and get reference material or research it online for a year or so and then start building it from images. I mean, yeah, AI could do that, but I still just don't think they'll have it right now. I don't think they'll be able to do it. Not right now, to the point of where it becomes authentic enough to appear as that airport. The more solid AI, the ones that are a bit more expensive, the ones that you have to pay for, are getting there, scarily close. But, you know, when you go onto social media and see some of these AIs spitting out plane crashes, or, which by the way I completely bloody hate, I think it's stupid, but yeah, you know, AI videos of planes landing and it's clearly not an A380, it's kind of a mismatch of a 747 and other bits of aeroplane. Those type of AI, yeah, I think they're going to struggle. Anyway guys, this probably will be the last airport now. I would have liked to get another one out, but I think it will be the last one, because I need to get a drink. I've got this Laughter the Vinto here. I might just lubricate the gullet, get me through this last bit. The last one we are going to have a look at is none of these. Well, it is. It's the one in the middle. It's Aspen. Because all of these three are actually handcrafted airports. Pretty sure Denver might be part of the premium or the aviator edition. I'm not too sure. But Aspen is the one that I had a look at. So I know we've got BizJets coming out of here. I know this is more general aviation. It could also be, because I know for some reason Just Flight Traffic likes to line up a couple of CRJs along this ramp for some reason. But I am curious to see whether Aspen does have regional flights going in. Something called KASE. Let's have a little look. It does. It actually does. Oh, fair enough. So Delta, United, American, CRJs, Embraer 75s, 175s. There's one at the runway right now, actually. Embraer 175 long range, Los Angeles to Aspen. Actually, be totally honest, that I didn't know. I thought it was mostly general aviation and mostly business jets. I know Aspen will be a big spot for business jets though, but yeah, it's got quite a regional schedule. Los Angeles, Delta, Los Angeles, Denver. Denver's not a bit of a jump for them, is it? United, American, Delta, SkyWest, and obviously NetJets as well. Let's head in there and let's have a little look around. This is, I think, the first one I checked out, so I can't remember most of it. I know technically Aspen will be known for the snow, but I'm gonna get rid of it just for now. I will turn the snow back on before we take a look at the night lighting. But thank you so much everyone who's checked this out. It will be available to watch afterwards. I'll put the chapters in so you can get to the airports a bit quicker. Keep an eye out. I think either I will do another live stream covering the other airports that I've got listed. The list will only get bigger as I discover more. Obviously there's only so many handcrafted airports, but stay tuned. I have got a Discord, guys, as well. It's linked in the stream description or in any video descriptions, as well as my social media. It's quite easy. I practically geek on all of them. YouTube, obviously. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. On Discord, if you get into my Discord as well. Everything I do live or as a video will be updated on Discord and social media. So please consider going to follow me on any of them. Anything that you guys are active on. Because, as I say, either I'll do more live streams for this, or I will create I'll do a mixture, videos and live streams. But yeah, there's obviously an obvious reason why I picked Aspen. This one, I would say, for its surrounding detail, nowhere near as good as the others. It kind of only exists to the freeway here, or that's not a freeway. Highway, I don't know, but it you know, Gaia simulations haven't gone further with this one. It's just the airport perimeter, and obviously the inside. So you can see a couple of CRJs parked up there, which again, they're using the default parking spaces, which would have business jets, possibly general aviation. This is all wrong, because it's blocking the taxiways. But yeah, we'll get rid of them. You can see there's a couple of more over there. So not as detailed on the surroundings, but I think this is another one, another little gem which you can actually go and visit again for free. Not too sure which American World Update this was part of. Again, some airports are included in the simulator anyway. That's not part of World Updates. 2024, I think, only brought 2. That wasn't part of a World Update, but just as part of the sim. I think that was Grand Canyon Park Airport and Bilbao, I believe. I don't think there was any others. We'll come back over this way anyway. Text quality and modeling overall is still just as fantastic. They've got the fanciest fire truck station here at Aspen, by the way. This whole big lodge to themselves. Kind of roof system that kind of blends into the hillside here. But yeah, there's obviously a reason why I wanted to show this one off as well, because of, again, the authenticity of the buildings here, the wood and the brickwork. You know, the typical lodge sort of building. Just as airport fire department, so not, you know, to the Aspen branding, but still quite good. They probably use the default spawn. Yeah. Even the smallest is big enough for the regional jets. I had to shrink them slightly. Okay. Right, yeah. It's just a shame, because obviously I've noticed with most of the... I can't comment on, say, intentions. I think Beyond ATC might be a tiny bit better, but I've noticed with most of the AI traffic solutions, they still just haven't got the right stands and where the aircraft are. Do you know what I mean? They're still really bad at that. The only AI traffic one that has done that right was the one that I live streamed, which was actually the ADSB injected real time ones, which is obviously giving us real AI traffic, exactly how ADSB and Flight Radar is showing at the time. You can see this is probably the only time in this live stream we've seen an auto gem building as part of the airport, which is, yeah. I think this airport was way back. It was an earlier World Update airport. I think you'll agree that the quality Gaia simulations have done. Maybe this wasn't even Gaia simulations. I can't be fully certain. I don't know if Gaia simulations have always done the handcrafted airports for the sim. But yeah, I mean, there you go. Just the fences just stopped, like, you know. So yeah, this is definitely an earlier one. That said, the reason why I wanted to show you this one was just, again, the overall quality of the buildings, and the ground clutter is still very, very nicely done. But yeah, if you are rewatching or you're watching the stream right now, before I head off and leave you, let me know which one's been your favourite out of the list. Well, you've had a couple of favourites. Also, as well, if you go to any of the default handcrafted airports, let me know which one yours is your favourite. Not necessarily in this list today. Just ones that you might visit more regularly than others, and that you've discovered, because I'm curious to see some more. Obviously, as we go, we're going to get more world updates, and I'm also wondering who is going to do them. Whether Gaia Simulations have got a team big enough to split their development process now that they're doing Corfu and going back to some of the older ones, and whether they're going to be still doing the airports for Microsoft and Asobo. It's quite interesting. I'm wondering if they will carry on. But if you look at the brickwork here, very nice. It for me, I think I haven't been close enough, but I'm going to say that's 2D. But because it's very high resolution, I think it's... Yeah, it's 2D, but it really looks... Sorry guys, it's getting caught on the edge there. Yeah, so that... The texture work is very, very nice, but it's still 2D, but it really does look like there's... Well, displacement mapping, which obviously we do have on the ground in 2024. My favourite is probably Catalina. Yeah, another one... there was someone who did Catalina Island as a payware in 2020, and that was really good. But yeah, I noticed there's a handcrafted version. I need to have a little look. Yeah, it's just normally mapped. It's just a 2D texture, but the 2D texture is very high res that it's almost given the appearance of a 3D texture. I also love these default sort of cranes. They're not cranes, they're the de-icers. I think they're the de-icers. I'm pretty certain they are, but the level of detail in them. Do you know, the buttons are a bit polygonary. It's a word. You can look it up. But yeah, the new vehicle textures in 2024, the models, sorry, and the textures are really good. Now, oddly enough, everything, the ones that I've chose for this live stream, no interiors, and a couple of other things that I've noticed in other. So the rest of them on my list, guys, the ones that I'm either going to do a video for or for the live streams, have got interiors, and obviously a bit more detailed, which is quite interesting. I thought some of these might have I thought I might have threw a couple in, but it appears not. Apart from the and hangar interiors as well, I've noticed there's definitely a couple more that I've put in the list that I've got loads of hangar interiors. But like I'm undecided whether I'll make a video or a live stream. I mean, obviously people aren't very they're not too keen to go and sit for a 2-hour live stream. It's different if I make a 10-minute video showcasing these. I totally get that. But yeah, there's no kind of sort of fancy entranceway modelled. You know, it's very basic in that respect. But I think for me, the terminal buildings, the ATC are all done very well. The hangars as well. Also, as well, it's just a very nice place. There was a little plant in there as well. There we go. Gaia Simulations logo spotted again. Hey, there you go. A little plant in there as well. Yeah, I think the de-icers. I think they are. Yeah. So, a little bit of night light. Oh, a little bit of snow maybe. Let's take it back into. There we go. I think the snow textures as well are fantastic. They really are. Especially when you walk over them with your avatar, and it's, you know, you can leave footprints in there and stuff. But yeah, that's our last one on the list, folks. Aspen. That's Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo. Sorry, yeah. Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo. Again, admittedly, not the one of the best out the bunch. Far from it. But I think again this was probably one of the earlier ones, earlier world updates that I believe that Gaia simulations have definitely evolved with their airport creation for sure. Beautiful locations to fly in though. All I'll say now, guys, is a massive thank you. It's been a great live stream. This is one of my favorite things to do. As I've said to you many times before, I've tried to sort of live stream aircraft and do aircraft videos. There's many other people who do it a lot better than me. I've said this a lot. I apologize for the regulars who have heard me say this on every live stream. But yeah, for you guys who haven't watched the channel, I am not the person to talk you through aircraft systems and fly it and tell you whether it's a good representation of that aircraft. Loads of other creators do it and do it fantastically. I believe I do airport tours and go through sceneries as in depth as I can. I might not know the history of the airport. I certainly wouldn't have ever traveled to the airport, but this is a goal of mine. All these airports that I'm discovering on the sim, I'd love to one day try and get to them, even if it's just one of them, to try and go and see one in real life, and because I've seen it in the sim. I've got loads of freeway videos coming up. There's still another 2 episodes. My free bush airstrips came out the other day. That's on the channel as my latest video. I live stream quite regularly. There's no schedule, unfortunately. I did do live stream every Sunday around this time quite regularly. It's been off and on recently though, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll try and keep to it. There's always a live stream at least once a week. I'm on Discord. Please go into the description. I'm on social media. Go there as well. I've got a new aircraft trailer. That's one thing I will say. Aircraft trailers and sort of helping developers get their work of art out there, whether it's an airport trailer or an aircraft trailer. I'm absolutely fine with doing that. There will be one on the channel very soon. Stay tuned for that. There's going to be something very, very special in March, as far as I'm aware. I'm still speaking back and forth to the particular person, and that is going to be really good. I know there's a lot of people who are very interested in that particular product, and yeah, definitely stay tuned for that one. There's going to be some more airports by Bern and Blue Designs. Over in the UK, they've got some really fantastic ones going out at the minute. Gamston, Beccles, and Kemble as well. So obviously Kemble being sort of the UK's graveyard for the aircraft going off there as well. Those Bern and Blue Designs are doing a fantastic rendition of that. And just in general, guys, just as it comes, you know, Indie Builds have got some great ones coming out. Obviously, Liverpool is on the horizon at some point. I can't wait to show you that, and definitely give you a bit more of an insight to Liverpool Airport. I didn't work there as in an aviation side of things. I was working in one of the shops, but it's an airport that I've been to many of the times. I know my way around it. I can give you a bit more knowledge in that one. That's going to be fantastic to have a little look at. Hong Kong by Indie Builds as well. You definitely be getting that back onto the channel when it arrives, and just loads more, folks. I may even try get some people from who know a bit even more about Liverpool Airport onto the live stream with me to help me with that. But yeah, thank you so much. Stefan, I'm sorry that I can't give you the answer to that. I wish I could speak French. I'll try, and if it's anything horrible, then I'll just delete it and I'll tell you to F off. But if it's something nice, then I don't know. I'm curious though. I apologise that I can't speak French. Can I join? I'm not flying. I mean, I will. I'd like to do more community flights. I think I've only ever done one. But yeah, if I was doing community flying, then I would. I definitely would, but yeah, there's nothing to join. I was just looking at some default airports from the sim. Definitely rewind if you're interested. Hello, what time is it on your side? It is 10 o'clock. So I've been live streaming for about, what? Nearly 3 hours. But yeah, can I please join though? I mean, I don't know what you mean. I mean, you look like you're just I don't know. Let me go and see. Are you a legit channel? Kayla, I mean, I'm not flying at the minute. But yeah, you go and join me Discord and social media. But for anyone who is interested in community flights, Discord and social media is the best way. I've got channels on there. The game, I mean, the simulator is, like I say, I'm not playing the simulator right now, but it is on, but I'm not doing any flying. I'm going to finish my live stream up now. For any community flights in the future, I'd like to do it a bit more, live stream more, because they can definitely be fitted in live streams. I find that it's a lot easier to fit those in at the minute. So community flights are definitely something I want to do more. Discord or social media, let's plan some flights. I know a couple of you guys have done 1 or 2 with me before over the Czech Republic and some other places. Definitely into that. Let's get things arranged. Right now though, I need to go and have a drink, and I need to go and get some sleep, because tomorrow will be another busy one for me. I've got more to do with YouTube and all this, but thank you so much everyone. Again, if you're rewatching, there should be chapters in. I am going to make sure of that, and yeah, I will. Where's my camera? There you are. I had that one on before. There you are up there. This is the best setup for the cameras. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. Anyone who's now subscribed to the channel through this stream, thank you so much as well. Can you me your username? If it's for Discord, yeah, it's in the description. It's in the stream description, dead easily to get. Just click the stream description and I'm on there. It'll just be at Practically Geek. I'm assuming it's just going to be lowercase on Discord. That'll take you to my server. My username is that, and yeah, I mean that's how it'll appear. It's the same on social media. It's exactly the same at Practically Geek. That's the only person you'll find. You'll see the same little head logo on there. Anyway, guys, let's go. I'm gonna go. Have a good evening, everyone. The rest of your Sunday, the rest of your weekend, which we're gonna be ending in 2 hours. But yeah, let's go, and yeah, more live streams soon. I'll see you later.